Terry of Gaming here. Today I'm going to talk about why the licensing war between Konami and EA Sports is a waste of time and is helping no one. Alright, so obviously fall season's here, football gaming season's around the corner. And both Konami and EA Sports are releasing details of the next game. So first thing I want to talk about is obviously we know that the AC and Inter Milan licenses have been lost for PES. They won't be in PES 21 and probably for the foreseeable future. EA Sports and FIFA are very happy to drop their trailer today showcasing, the two teams exclusively in FIFA. They also announced, however, that Roma will not be in FIFA. They'll be called Roma FC. Side note to PES, if you're going to get exclusivity, don't let the other competitor call the team Roma FC. But they're not going to have the Stadio Olimpico or the kits, which are incredible this year. Really cool kits for Roma. So AS Roma will be in PES, which is cool, I guess, but they've been there forever. So and the Stadio Olimpico as well. So maybe just some better face scans, obviously some tattoos, things like that. Obviously this is kind of, this back and forth. Last year you had Juventus, which went exclusively to Konami for a few years. They were called Piemonte Calcio, which is like the first time I can think of in FIFA where they've had to deal with a massive club not having a license, not having the stadium, not having the kit. It's a big deal for FIFA fans. Obviously, they're not used to modding the way we are on PES. Also, PES also have the Camp Nou for Barcelona. They don't have exclusive rights to Barcelona because EA Sports has a partnership with La Liga. And it's all confusing. It's all confusing. It's confusing and it's annoying. And the arms race means that it's cyclical. It's never going to end. Every time you get a big team, the other company now has to come and get a bigger team or just any team or a league. They always have to fight back. And this arms race, like I said, is not helping the fans. It's not letting the games progress. It's making both companies just focus so much on spending these crazy prices for these licenses. And I can't really blame the clubs because obviously the clubs just want to make money. Their businesses, they want to make money in any way possible. So they're just going to take whatever they can get. But this consistent license battle is just ruining both games. And I think Konami specifically should have never gotten involved. And I think in many ways it's what's kind of started to it's ruined the PES series. Though I still love PES, I still think it's a great game. They've certainly fallen from their heights, and I think a lot of this has to do with their battling and this constant back and forth with EA Sports for licenses. Alright, so where did this all begin? And so Durand Deal, he's on Twitter. Check him out, awesome guy. He does mods for PES. And he does option files as well with a group called SciPES, really cool guy. And what he's done, he's put together an amazing document showing how licenses have worked in both franchises for leagues, teams, and competition. So please check this out. I'm not going to go through everything here, but you can go through and look and see, which years they both games have a license to something, whether it's a team, whether it's a competition, whether it's a league. So definitely check this out. Fun to go through and kind of see how things have gone back and forth. Now, for me, when I think of licenses, I go back to PES 2013 because that's when PES made their biggest foray into the licensing game, I guess. They had 19 out of 20 stadiums in La Liga, which is incredible for PES. I think there's 20 stadiums total now. I'm kidding, there's 53, but not enough. So that was a big deal at the time, and obviously right after that, FIFA kind of laid the hammer down. They got the La Liga license, so eventually after years of PES having La Liga team's license, they lost that as well, which then forced them to go for Barcelona. And like I said, this cycle continues. So FIFA made a big dent there, and honestly, EA Sports always seemed to react like a threatened animal in the forest when a predator is nearby. Whenever they feel threatened when it comes to game sales of their sports games and licenses. So we look back, a good example of this, NFL 2K5. I'm not a big American football guy, but I used to like it a lot more when I was younger and pay attention. NFL 2K5 is one of the best sports games ever made. It probably is in the top 3, my personal top 3, with PES 5 and NBA 2K11. That game's incredible, way ahead of its time. It's playable today as a new game. It's so good. However, they did an incredible job. The presentation, everything was on point, and they actually released it. 2K Sports did a month, I think, before Madden, which is EA Sports' flagship NFL franchise. They released it a month before, and they released it at a much lower price point. Obviously, the sales were almost the same, which is unheard of for EA Sports having to compete with anyone for sales. And then after that, EA Sports had to kind of fight back, and they went and got an exclusive license with NFL for the next decade. They got it 2 years after that game. And 2K Sports basically ended their involvement with American football, focused more on basketball, crushed EA over there. However, 2K Sports is coming back to American football, so we'll see. But also, they need to get into real football. 2K Sports into the football gaming genre would just send shockwaves through the industry. I actually want to make a video on that, so if you're interested in that, let me know. I'll think about that for the future. Guys, what's up? It's me, Future Terry here. I'm just editing a video and I realized something I didn't bring up. One of the biggest issues with licenses and using these licenses and exclusive licenses is that it stops new companies from entering the football gaming genre. So as I brought up 2K here, you have to think, why is 2K gonna make this investment where they're gonna also have to pay for licenses for all these teams and you have no idea how it's gonna turn out? So licensing is not only affecting the current game, it's also affecting the possibilities of new games entering the market. Back to the video. But my point with this is EA Sports know they have a big company, they have money, they know how to clamp down and eliminate competitors if they need to, and that's what they've been doing with this licensing deal. Now, what I want to talk about specifically when it comes to PES and Konami is PES made such an error getting involved in this unwinnable race. Why compete with EA Sports? Why compete with the behemoth? PES had its growth, its love, its heart and soul back in the PES 5, ISS days, PES 4 even, going before then, when you had fake players, fake names, fake boots, fake leagues, fake everything. But the gameplay was so good on the pitch. They focused so much on that your experience was so good. You didn't care about playing with the fake players, and then once they announced the editor and you could do a bit more, you could do pixel editing, get the kits with the Nike tick and all that, then obviously the game seemed perfect because you had the best of both worlds. Now, when they started to get to the new generation, and I get the thought process, new generation, kids want to see official things in the game. They want to see everything looking like real life. They want a simulation experience. So I get why they thought they should do this, but as they push more and more into licenses, I feel like the gameplay has just fallen off, and their focus on the gameplay has fallen off. And now with microtransactions and the whole online gaming sphere, I just don't see how that's ever going to change. But to me, Konami, what happened is by entering this license debate, by entering this license war, so to speak, you now set a precedent where if you lose a license, it's a big deal. So when you announce this year that Inter and AC will not be in PES, it feels horrible. Whereas back when they were called like Lombardi, back in like PES 3, PES 2, I think, no one cared, and we wouldn't have cared had it not gotten to this point. So I think Konami needs to drop this completely, but regardless, both teams need, banging the mic, that's how angry I am. Both companies need to give this up. I don't see how it's gonna happen. Like I said, I think it's only gonna get worse, but the only losers are the fans. The fans? That's who this is for. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I drop PES news maybe once a week if there's more news. Obviously August is here, so I'm going to be dropping a lot more news as we get closer to the game. So if you like that content, stick around, subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell. I sound so annoying like a YouTuber. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Honestly, if you like the content, just subscribe. It would be cool. I'd like if you watch my content. Also, I do Master League stuff all the time. Anyway guys, peace out. I'm sweating. I did this for the video. I had to take off the fan and the AC. Might have been too loud for the audio. It's summer, so I'm burning up. But yeah, both teams, forget it. Drop it, please. It's annoying. I can't stand it. Get back to the gameplay.